my name is Jessica. Welcome to this video. If it's your first time, I'm a foreign architect and living in US, and I'm in the process to get my architectural license in specific in Florida state. And today I have a special guest, all my special guests, and she is Maria Gatillon. She is original from Peru and live in Fairfax. She is in US since 1999 and she has family. Her parents and brother live in the same area. She spent the free time with family. She has a dog and she likes to learn about business. Maria, welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Tell us more about yourself and tell us your story. How you come to US? What is your story?
Hi, Jessica. Thank you again for having me over. It's great to meet and get to know you. I love your idea of having the channel where we are sharing our trials and tribulations, achieving professional success. I'm very thankful for having me over. And like you mentioned, my name is Maria Gatillon. I am a certified interior designer. I have my licensure in Maryland and Virginia currently, but my certification allows me to get the certificate, become a certified interior designer in any state other than California that I would like to, that I will like to apply. So I came to the US originally when I was 15. My grandfather offered me when I was a toddler that for my 15th birthday, he will send me to a trip to Disneyland. So when the time arrived, I, sat down with him and I said, it's time to pay up, Papa. Soon after we came, he couldn't come with us, but he sent my grandmother, my mom, and my brother for the trip. We stayed in Florida for about a week. And then my mom sent my brother and I to his godparents' home down in California, where we were able to attend high school for a couple of months. While I was in high school, I went into the 10th grade as an ESL student. And with the very little I could understand and make up in most of my classes, I was able to get into a class that was showing students how to get student loans, how to apply to universities, to look into different careers and fields. They had professionals that came and talked to us, and they showed us to navigate the basics of career and university, applying to universities and college, your college journey. That was a huge turning point in my life, even though I had to go back home to finish my last year of high school at that time. It was an experience I never forgot. At the time, we had an economical downturn back in Peru. So my parents were not able to afford the institute that I wanted to study for. I was deciding between graphic design. That's what I thought I was going to go for. But with the course that they were able to pay, which was to become a bilingual administrative assistant, I was able to achieve two things. It was very interesting that the graduation ceremony happened in a brand new hotel. It is called the Hotel Los Delfines, the Dolphins Hotel, that had a theme built around an aquarium with two dolphins inside. The public amenities.
Mm.
I thought that that was such a different way of transporting people into a completely different world as soon as they stepped into that hotel, and that it was another um, point in my that aligned me to want to pursue interior design.
Love it. I
Yeah.
love. So, like I said in the beginning, we are start somewhere, right? It's everybody have a different stories, and that's what I love about this. Like everybody is unique with their stories. So I love your story. Thank you for sharing. I give Maria some of the questions to follow up, and I think you covered the first and the second one, because my second one is how you become an interior designer. So she explained a little bit about the inspiration. And
Mhm.
it's interesting also, I was talking with other foreign architects previous interviews. We jump careers. We start with some idea in the beginning. I do believe it sounds stupid, but when we are 20s, we don't know what we want. It's just so difficult, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're changing from being a child to
Right.
having to decide what you're going to do for the next 50 years. At age 18, I actually graduated. We have a different one. We only have 11 years of high school or schooling, and we don't have, like, I was born in February. We have a different um
Program.
like the program is different. It start during the summertime down south. So
Mhm.
summer is our school is from March to December. So it goes actually with the calendar year. So when I graduated, I was 16.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. So
No,
it was after, I graduated, I was still 16. And then I was gonna just be 17 when I started um the administrative assistant. It's like, why did I know? I barely knew how to do anything grown up,
right,
And then here I was, um, looking like my mom, like professionally dressed with a dress and high heels and all that expectations. And it's like we were from playing ball into wearing heels and a suit,
right, right, right.
which is now I tell my daughters and they're like, what? And I'm like, yes, you go from, you know, staying with your friends. And then that program was only 1 year. So before I even turned 18, I was already ready to work in an office environment. And now I see it as like, I'm not mature at all, but for, at
That-
any means.
yeah,
And you see, now you have to be with executives, being their right hand, you know, you don't see that anymore. I don't know. I don't think so. So, um, actually, my story continues to becoming an interior designer um, after that period. So I worked in Peru as an AA, and I decided that I sucked at it.
uh,
It was not, I mean, it was super boring for me. You have to read and write, answer the phone, smile all the time, and that was it. So there was no creativity whatsoever. I could get creative with contracts. That was, but that was not what I wanted to do. So in 1999, I told my parents that I wanted to continue that journey that I inadvertently started while I was in that 10th grade classroom. And I said, if I can find a university that will take me, I can go to a college and I don't need to do the SATs. I can go into that same college and take the TOEFL and prepare for the TOEFL exam. That was how even I started,
right.
and I was able to work and at least pay one class a semester from my own pocket.
Mm.
It that's exactly how I started, basically. I used to wait tables, so I knew that in 4 days, that would be the weekends. So in 2 weekends, I could have enough money to pay my basic, rent, cell phone, and I didn't have a car because the restaurant I worked with was less than a block away.
Mm.
So I had very limited expenses, so I could pay for, the TOEFL class or single classes that were not credit classes.
I was all here. We
I'm
talked
sorry,
when you were here in the US already.
19.
I'm 19 when you,
Yeah,
okay.
I was 19.
So, okay, let me stop you there. So Maria was telling me, and I told her this is very interesting. We are talking now about the cost and career experience. She was explaining me how she have a plan. So for who is seeing this video, I think the most the cost of an architectural career or interior design, any career in general, I would say in US varies, right? And also is an issue for us, especially for me. I'm holding for a little things that I need to get done, but because money, I'm not proceed with that. My goal is to get done in 2015. That's my goal. And so Maria was explaining how she planning ahead. So this is important. First of all, to understand the career, and again, is don't feel bad if you are in 20s that you don't know what you want, or you try to decide for interior design, for example, and you are like not sure. Don't worry about it. Get in, start somewhere like you did. You start with administration. What happened to me is I used to start as um, architectural drafting, and it's before university, is our last years of high school in Costa
Mhm.
Rica. And then I started architecture, and I was not thinking about anything else, any career. I say architecture all the time. I become I have a master's degree in architecture in Costa Rica. And then 2017, when I was in US, I'm like, I still working in architectural firms, but I start getting more interest about fitness. So I like more fitness exercises, and I become to be a health coach, and I graduate in a school in New York, and I'm like, this is my thing. I love it. This is what I want to do. Guess what? I switch. In technical, I switch. I try to build a business in that way. I still try to motivate people in social media. That's what I like to do as a hobby. But in the end, I never left architecture. But again, it's like the transition of do all this. Please continue. I'm sorry that I interview.
No,
I want to explain that where we at in this point talking about career costs, and I love that you plan ahead. So I guess you are not dealing with any loans, student loans right now.
no,
It,
they're already all paid off.
that's perfect. So can you tell us about it, what you did, and continue with this story, and please tell us
Yeah.
what you did for whoever start the process.
So because I still was on my own, I in a new country, I was scared. Dollars were a lot. You
Mhm.
know, the the currency exchange is 3 soles for $1. And back then you could eat a 3-course meal for $1.
Wow.
So, you it paying $50, $60, you know, eh, you know, 100, or I think it was like $70 a credit. It was a lot of money for me. Um, Soon after I was in the US, I met my now husband, and I we were a young marriage. I didn't have, a lot of, he was also starting his career. So to me, I didn't want to misuse either my time or the funds that we had. I already had done a lot of research about interior design. I knew that I wanted to be an amazing interior designer, you know. So I started understanding what required or what made me an interior designer versus an interior decorator. And that was for me important because I never thought of the career as a decoration, but more of a closer to interior architecture, which is actually the title that I would have gotten if I studied back home. So what I did is I went to my community college. I learned that they had the interior design associate, and then that they had agreements with several universities around our area that all the students are able to transfer. One of the things I didn't want was to get into any classes that would not transfer, or to be in more classes than I needed in order to get to my degree sooner, or without delay, I would say. So I remember for a few weeks, I grabbed their agreement and I sat and I went. There were 3 universities I was considering then. It was Marymount University, George Washington University, and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech had been the university, one of the top interior design programs in the country for several years. By the time I was starting the process. So that was what I wanted. When I reviewed, I knew that if I wanted to pursue Virginia Tech, I needed to take these many classes. If I wanted to go to Marymount, I needed to take these other classes. And for George Washington, it was very, very similar. After I realized how many credits I could transfer, I remember very vividly, there were like 71 credits. I knew that that was the goal. I have the bullseye and I said, these are the classes, not a single one more. And then once I'm about to finish, I'm going to go up, I'm going to apply, I'm going to be on top of my deadlines, and I'm going to have really good GPA. I have a really good portfolio so they cannot turn me down. And I can continue without losing much time.
Right,
So I didn't
right.
have to wait. So after that, I had that credit. I had a plan. I just tossed it about a month ago. And I said for the first semester, I'm going to take these classes, second semester. And I did all the list of prerequisites so I could take them in the order that it needed to happen. And when the time arrived to transfer to Marymount, to apply to Marymount, I had, a really high GPA, and I had pretty much accomplished all the goals that I knew exactly which classes they were transferring, which ones I had 1 or 2 classes that I ended up wanting to take, but I knew that they were not going to transfer. And I was okay with that because it was something that was beyond the expectation for the program, but was I was indulging myself pretty much.
Oh my God. I will applause for that because it's so difficult to plan ahead. Again, we are just follow what everybody do, like go to the school, do this is the career, take this, but it's not planning according to your future where you want to get. done. And you have so many options in the schools around here. It's not my case because I didn't study here my career, but I heard from colleagues and it's so many options, so many universities. They want your money. They want you because they want your money, but it's not. I don't think it's the feeling to say, hey, let's set up, let's sit down together, let's plan what you want, where you want to go, and stuff like that. And sometimes you have no idea. You start and you don't have an idea, and that's why. So the takeout here, guys, is really planning ahead is the most important thing. So, and also you mentioned about to spend $90,000, and I will say, do not be scary. This is a big number, but as Maria say, she planned ahead, and she had not student loans. So that's
Yeah.
very that's great.
So basically, out of those 90,000, 50,000 went onto student loans.
Okay.
The other 40,000, and remember, I started college with a TOEFL class in 1999. I took little by little, class by first, at the beginning, you can only take one class because you need to go with your English courses until you get to English on college level. And after I achieved that level, I then could start taking college level classes. So that was, I think it was after 2001. Yes. So it's about 2 years that I had to study English in order to go to the English 101 level. And then I started going, semester by semester and understanding, following the plan, which classes I needed to take when. Another.
So yeah, we were talking before the technical issues about the $19,000. You say $50,000 on a student loan. How you pay that?
With a lot of patients over 10 years or okay. So yeah, it was 10 years that it took. Because the community college, I was taking it part-time, I was able to pay for it from my own pocket, basically. So save up about I don't remember if it was a couple thousand for the semester. So it was very doable back then for us. Granted, we had, roommates and other stuff, but we made it work.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of that was the tuition from Marymount. After that, it was like over 55,000.
The intuition you talking?
I'm sorry?
What is that you mentioned in the intuition?
The tuition was about 60,000, like 50. I think it's actually closer to 60,000 for what I remember.
Okay.
And then the other 30,000 were part of the community college.
Okay.
And then out of those 90, of those, about 5,000 were for the certification, training, books, time, and other applications that
right.
I needed to plus paying for the exams.
Right. Yeah. Also, yeah. as so when you graduate from the school, you have to do this process in NCARB for architects. So I guess you guys also have to take those tests. Like it's not part of the school. I remember in Costa Rica, I get to the master and it was a whole package. And I cannot get a bachelor, what is bachiller? How
Bachelor's.
bachelor, and you cannot get to that point to become an architect. You have
Mhm.
to get a master, no matter what. So we went to them, but it's a whole package, so it's more simple. But at the end of the day, let's say we need to be patient in terms of time. Like you say, it is a lot of years for you to figure this out, and not only pain, but study, right? And the tests and all the savings and the plan. So it's about time and be patient about it and making sure you are in the right path. If you feel like you are like, no, I'm not sure, I'm not, just give me a break and think about it, because this is about a lot of money and time to spend it, and we ended up doing something else, which is happening a lot, right? I have colleagues, they born in US. They went to college and they are good architects, but they are not graduated certificate because, and my question is, why not? And they're like, what? That's so expensive. And it's so much time. I make the same money not having a certificate. So it's a lot of cases that way. Okay. We will wrap a little bit. I said wrap, but we will have 3 more questions for Maria. And I have one here. What project stands out to you as the most memorable, and what made it so special?
It was it actually still standing. It's the Westin Hotel in Virginia Beach.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was an intern back then. I was actually working with Israel. I believe we were working on this. He also worked on that project.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at some point, it was like a gazillion years ago.
Yeah.
But the I loved it because I was able to work in the whole hotel. So it was a over 300 key hotel. I was able to work on every single room type. I was Then I joined the team to finish up selections for the public areas. And as the team moved to other projects, I was able to take on more responsibility to finish the design with supervision. But I was able to um, have a very good collaborative um, experience with my supervisors. They allow me to make present options and to sustain why I wanted to have them. We also had the opportunity to learn how to plan
Mm.
for pieces of furniture that would not fit through elevators or stairs. So we had to piece them out, do custom carpet throughout. And by the end of the project, everybody had moved out and they saw my skills and they handed me the final part of the project, which was hand out to the procurement company and explaining to the owners the budget.
Wow. Wow.
So it was like,
That's very challenge. But the level you have at the
yeah,
moment, that's very good.
yes. And that's when I started to realize what my strong suits in the career were, being able to plan, and costs and coordinate a lot of the several moving pieces that goes into an large scale interior project.
Right. Okay. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
very, very nice project. Like not everyone or few of us have the opportunity to work on those projects, especially this knowing hotels, right? That is all over the place. All right.
Yes.
Um,
And
all right. My next question is personal health. I was sharing with Maria that I was a health coach, and I get to the point that fitness industry health topics were very attractive to me. And I still believe that, like, even though with our careers, almost most of us, um, in general, let that part outside and be worried more about work, take care of the family, and health for me is important. Sometimes we get too much stress at work or even study. I can imagine. Some people get stressed just get the career done. And so the question is, how you share with us how you handle and what activities you do to avoid stress and have a health in your life, in your family in general.
So I'm gonna be honest, there's no, like, I can't find a way to not get stressed.
Oh,
Um, what I do to fight it back is exercise.
okay.
I am a person, for example, that I carry a lot of the stress in their neck and shoulder area.
Okay.
So for me, yeah, I'm like always, yeah, let me go, let's go
Right.
do this, and then it's like, oh yeah, don't forget. But
Right.
um, I do yoga a lot. It's one of the exercises that helps me align.
You going to classes or you do at home or
I do
anytime
both.
or you have a schedule for that?
I do both. So I either I try to go to the studio, but it's not always feasible.
Mhm.
Um, most of the time I do with video sessions, and I have a premium for YouTube, which takes all the commercials, which is great. So you
Uh-huh.
can have the full workout without, you know, a gazillion commercials and stopping. I think that the investment is well worth it.
Okay.
That also allows me to change and not only do yoga, but if one day, hey, my shoulders today are a little more stressed than usual,
Mm.
Google, YouTube search, you know, my shoulders are in pain or whatever,
That's
work, you know,
good.
oh, today is the hips, or, like I feel like I'm a little tight all over. I need to take it slow.
Mm.
Just
Okay.
Google it. And
Okay.
or yes, just, search for it. I need an extra, I'm super stressful, um, super stressed. I need a really hardcore workout today. So
Uh-huh.
I can change it to whatever I need. And that is one of the things that I found very helpful.
Very good. Very good advice. I like the way sometimes my thing is go to the gym every morning. Even though if I have something at 7 a.m., I will go at 4 a.m. if it's needed. That's my going to. But it's good that you are in the present to understand what's happening with you with your body.
Yes.
Some of some some people is like, I'm stressed, I have stress, I don't care. It keep going and get to the point that the body explodes. It's not you cannot handle this for long term. So it's good that you get, you pay attention what is happening in the moment and start searching. That's
Yes.
great.
And not only that, it's going to sound very funny to you, but it will make a lot of sense. Sometimes I was so stressed or, and that I couldn't fathom even the idea of changing
Mm,
and driving to the gym.
right.
So what I did was have whatever, pull a t-shirt, pair of shorts.
Let's go.
I literally put out my phone or my iPad on this next to my bedside, and I'll start doing yoga. I'll
Mm.
start doing something. Just and sometimes I didn't even turn on the light.
Oh wow.
So I couldn't have, I will take care of me
Mhm.
regardless of everything else was going on. So
Good.
I didn't have, if I'm not feeling completely okay, I'm like, okay, let's go change. You have to brush your teeth. You have to do this. You have to do that in order to get out to the gym or go to get off bed. Even if you're in PJs,
Mm.
just get moving. Sometimes it just changes your whole day.
Yeah, right.
You
Good
know,
for That's very good for you, and it's a good advice for everybody. All righty, Maria. I think this is the last one, and it's gonna be advice and recommendations for inspiring interior designers. And what I don't know, what financial advice would you tell them? Well, you talk about that already, but in general, like a general advice for them. They want to start study, or even though they are in the middle and they stop and quit, or they're so close.
my advice, well, one of the things I would say about the career and the industry, um, I don't think the construction industry is for the faint of heart. It's a lot, it's a lot of work.
Mhm.
You have to learn a lot, especially a lot of interior design as a field is identified as a residential level, but it's so much more than that. A lot of interior designers nowadays think that education is it's an option, that you can become an interior designer without having a formal education. While you can be a good and an amazing interior decorator, I feel that for any professional, having that formal education will always catapult their abilities to, to keep growing. With that said, I know that education nowadays keeps getting more expensive by the day. Sometimes, having a plan definitely helps clarify your goals and how you're going to achieve it and how long maybe it's going to take you. Understanding that, remember that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. There's a few technological changes that have happened into the A&D industry in the past 10, 15 years. Yeah, about 15 years have been so much more than the previous 40. For a while, AutoCAD was the only thing that was available. Now, since 2008, there's several BIMs, there's a lot of has happened. So we will never stop learning. And that is something that definitely needs to be part of my recommendation. There's always room to grow.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time. And
My
finally,
pleasure.
you are willing to share your well, we forget to mention that you have your own business. Tell us
Yes.
the name and how the people can find you.
Yes. So as a certified interior designer, the company I have is called M2 Interior Design. I started it with my sister-in-law, whose name is also Maria,
Oh, nice.
hence the two M's.
Awesome.
Um, uh, and right now I'm starting with residential design, all from decorating and selection of furniture, all the way to major interior renovations, and with the hopes to eventually move into small commercial. I can be found at www.mtwointeriordesign.com.
Okay.
There you can, find me there and book a call with me. And I'll be welcoming anybody or either on LinkedIn under Maria Gatillon. That's Gatillon. I'd love to help other peers. I have a few students that I've helped over at Marymount, and I love the experience of giving them advice and answering any questions. It'll be a pleasure.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we will leave your information. I will post it here below in the description so they can reach you out.
Thank you.
Thank you again. And I hope to see you in another video.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye bye for now.